The Upside Down meets Diana Ross with this delicious persimmon cake. Hey there everyone, I'm Scott and welcome to my Time Machine Kitchen. So how are we all feeling now that Stranger Things has come to a close? I know, feeling a little emotional, a little sensitive. I totally get it. I do have some thoughts about the end in general, and I'll talk about those a little bit later. But for right now, I want to go back to the first episode of season 5, when there was this music sequence of the crew getting ready for a trip to go to the Upside Down. Well, last fall, when I was developing this upside down persimmon cake recipe, I thought, you know what? I am going to call it my Diana Ross Upside Down Persimmon Cake, obviously after the song. So I was so thrilled when I heard that that song was being played during that music sequence, because I was like, you know what? This cake is so delicious. It can not only pay tribute to Miss Diana Ross's song, Upside Down, from 1980, but it can also pay tribute to the unbelievable Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2, and the finale. Persimmons are the main ingredient in more ways than one because they sort of own you. You can only eat persimmons when they're perfectly ready and ripe. So you kind of have to watch, wait, and then the second they're ready, make this cake. The good news is, once they're ready, it's a cinch to put everything together. It is highly likely that you will purchase your persimmons when they are not ready to eat. I have purchased some that are absolutely hard as a rock, but there is this hack where you take a steel pot, you put your persimmon in there, and you can put multiple in there too. Put them in there though with an apple, and then you close it up. And within, I would say about 24, 36 hours, maybe 2 days, they ripen up perfectly. I was very skeptical about this, but I have used this hack all season long, all in the fall for all of my persimmons, and it's worked really perfectly. So definitely worth a try. Okay, so for this cake, we have already used what we mashed up in the bowl. It was called a Hachiya persimmon, and they basically have to turn to mush before they're ready to use, which is perfect for this recipe because we were just pureeing it up anyways. Some have even described them when they're completely ripe as holding a bag of applesauce, and I think that that's pretty accurate. Ugh. But we're also going to be using another kind of persimmon, this guy. We're going to talk all about him in just a second, but first let's get back to our persimmon, our Hachiya persimmon puree. We're making this super easy and using a boxed spice cake mix. This one is Duncan Hines, and I'm using it because the mix itself is vegan. And instead of adding eggs, which would make it non-vegan, that's where our persimmon puree comes in. I'm adding about half a cup, which for me was just 1 persimmon. And the box calls for a half a cup of oil and 1 cup of water. This recipe is embarrassingly easy. So now that our cake batter is ready, let's talk about the Fuyu persimmon. I usually peel mine, and when you slice these, they have this beautiful starburst in the center, which is so festive if you're doing this around the holidays. And let's not forget, this is an upside down cake, so we're going the same road as a pineapple upside down cake by adding butter and brown sugar to the bottom of a pan, and then a few slices of our Fuyu. I also added some pineapple because I thought the two flavors would be yummy together, and I also needed space to add a few maraschino cherries. The cake batter goes into a 9-inch round pan and into a 350-degree oven for about 35 minutes. Let's talk about Diana Ross and Stranger Things. Two things that I thought I would never be able to connect in my life. Okay, ladies first, Diana Ross. So this song, Upside Down, was a huge hit in 1980. I'm talking international success. And if you listen to the lyrics, you can tell there is some cheating going on. But Ms. Ross says it's kind of worth it because this man turns her upside down, inside out, round and round. Sounds like quite a dude. When I was searching YouTube for this song, I found this awesome clip of Diana Ross singing this song at a 1981 concert. And a very young superstar and fellow friend of hers jumps up onto stage, starts dancing around, and even singing a few lines of the song. Of course, this friend, who evidently was a very beloved friend of hers, was a very young Michael Jackson. I really love this clip. I'm going to post it in the description box down below, but I love it because it felt like a very authentic moment. I'm about to sound like a very old man right now because I feel like we watch so many things on YouTube and on television and while we're streaming things, and they're supposed to be authentic moments, but you can totally tell that they've been planned and staged. And I really love that this moment that I'm talking about between Diana Ross and Michael Jackson truly felt authentic. I kind of miss those very authentic moments captured on video. Another fun fact about this song comes from King Charles III, Prince Charles in 1980, for those of us who are old enough to remember. He said in a recent interview that he absolutely loved this song back in the 80s, and that whenever he heard it, he would actually get up and dance and sing along. Now, if King Charles III, Prince Charles, loving Upside Down by Diana Ross isn't a Stranger Things, I don't know what is. Let's get this cake out of the pan. Now, because of all the brown sugar and butter, this part can be tricky. We have to let it cool, but not so long that it sticks to the pan. 13 to 15 minutes is kind of the magic number. So in Stranger Things, the Upside Down is an alternate dimension, right? It's stuck in the 80s, which I typically love, but this is a pretty dark place. I know it's been nearly a decade since its debut, but I'm really gonna miss Stranger Things. The first episode was set in 1983, and the kids were pretty much the same age as I was in 1983. So seeing the clothes, the houses, the hair, it's like my own memories in some way. So here we are, Season 5, Volume 2, and the grand finale. I am here for it all, especially if there's more Upside Down and Diana Ross. And is it just me, but the top of a persimmon does look like a demogorgon, right? I totally realize that persimmons are something that not everyone is familiar with, or maybe you've seen them at the grocery store and you're like, what the heck is that? Well, I have you covered. At the end screen of this video, I've got two videos that will be there. One is a Persimmon 101 video, and the other is a how to eat a persimmon video. So definitely check those out. And then you are ready to make a persimmon recipe. And I think that this cake is so easy. It is the perfect tiptoe into the world of persimmons. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That is really good. So really good persimmon flavor, and I really love it paired with the pineapple. That was a good idea, so I'm glad I did that. Oh my gosh. And to quote Miss Ross, this cake is so good it will turn you upside down, inside out, round and round. Absolutely delicious. I really want to show you these Stranger Things plates because I love them. I mean, they are so Stranger Things with the bicycle, the Demogorgon, I mean, the pizza, everything is on here. I found them at Target over the holidays. And when I was checking out, the cashier actually said to me, she was like, oh, it's a shame you couldn't get the napkins because we sold out of them. And I was like, there are napkins too? So of course, then I had to go on a Target crawl super late one night. Thank goodness all of the Targets in the DC area are open till midnight. So I went to this one, it was really late. I mean, it was almost midnight. I found the display, no napkins to be found, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna try on this little Stranger Things jacket, the one that they have for the radio station. So as I was taking the jacket off, somehow I tripped a little bit, didn't get hurt, and fell, but right there on the shelf underneath the jacket were the Stranger Things napkins with a clearance tag on them. For those of you who have not watched season 5 or the finale yet, this is a perfect cake to make while you watch those. Or if you're deciding to binge the entire series like me, you can make this cake and watch the series as well, the entire series. Now, I do have a theory. I do not think that we have seen the end of Stranger Things because this series was so incredibly successful. And if you think about a lot of the other successful series, like I always think of like Game of Thrones and the spin-offs that have come off of that, like House of the Dragon, and then there's another one about a knight that's rolling right now. I think that Stranger Things definitely has legs to move on. And what is more 80s than a sequel? I could totally see a Stranger Things, Book 2, Stranger Things, The College Years, Stranger Things, the 90s. I would totally watch that. I would watch all of those. But for now, thank you so much for taking a trip back to the 80s with me today. And remember, you are always welcome here in my Time Machine kitchen.